Tom Lee screams, this is the bottom, guys. This is the bottom for October. You should be over the worst in the stock market and also for Bitmine, right? Is this the last time that we see Bitmine at 50 with a 5 in front of the stock price? Well, I don't think so, because at some point we will go to 500, right? This is the goal, but let's dive into what Tom Lee actually is telling you to do.
Welcome to the game, I'm the wolf of Dubai.
Welcome to a brand new video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Danny and I'm looking for stocks that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x potential, like I did for Tesla, Nvidia, Palantir. And also I'm early investor into Bitmine. Okay, so Bitmine already doubled since the prices since we are talking here on this channel, and I think this is just the very beginning. My subscribers over the last couple of years, they bought even houses or apartments, so it's very good return of investment to actually stay subscribed to both of my channels. And also I never advertise, even when I get crazy offers for $20, $30, $40,000 per video to advertise other products when I have the best product in the world. Okay, we at X10 Day Trading, we actually have our own software which you call the AutoPilot, that sends you all our trades from our day trading professional team all automatically into your portfolio. You just have to switch it on every morning. Rest is done for you, okay? And if you have $10,000 that we would love to grow to 58 in the first 12 months, because we want to average about like 8 to 15% per month, then you should schedule a call with me personally, and I'm looking forward to see you on the other side with us together. Now, Tom Lee is obviously very, very vocal, and specifically when there is turbulent times, like I said many times, because of the volatility and the weakness in October, according to this seasonality chart in the stock market, then you can be sure that he's there, our chairman of Bitmine, and is holding our hands and guide us through the overall turmoil, okay? And with that said, you remember, not only I am bullish, not only Tom Lee is bullish, but even his hair is very, very bullish every single time we see him on the video. Now, in this video that I will show you, he explains why he believes that we might saw the bottom already for October, which would be amazing because I buy every single day of Bitmine. I just bought yesterday $9,000 worth of Bitmine, like I do every single day, and I will buy also today a little bit of Bitmine, between like $3,000 to $10,000 that I can afford. I wish I could put $100,000 per day. It's not yet possible. I will get there to the point. I will get you to the point, but make sure to be subscribed because this is very important, and also smash that like button. We are working very, very hard with the team to make you 2 videos every single day, guys. There's no one out there that making so many content pieces for you to understand Bitmine, to learn about Bitmine, to really appreciate the beauty about Bitmine and Tom Lee. So let's dive in what he's actually saying.
So let me do some macro, because there's been some turmoil in markets lately. It all started with Friday, October 10th, when President Trump posted this very long post on Truth Social. And there he was talking about his concerns about actions taken by China and what he called export controls. And he was going to respond with a massive increase of tariffs. Now that happened at 11 a.m. on Friday. And after that, the VIX spiked more than 30%. In fact, that was the 39th highest ever surge in the VIX, so it's unusual, and the highest one-day jump since December 18th, 2024. Now, the markets fell 2.7%, so it was a bad day, but the volatility is what I've been focused on. And then at 4:50 p.m. Friday, President Trump took actions and imposed a 100% tariff on China. Now, that caused a huge downturn in futures quickly during that short window. And crypto markets, which trade over the weekend, underwent a massive sell-off. In fact, it triggered what is expected to be one of the largest ever one-day liquidations, the largest really since 2018 and 2021. And in 2021, that had to do with FTX. To give you an idea, someone posted this on Twitter that outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which held up well, look at things like SUI, or Cardano, which went from 80 cents to 30 cents. SUI went from $3.40 to 56 cents. So clearly a huge liquidation. But then by Sunday evening, President Trump said, "Don't worry about China. All will be fine." So in some ways, I guess that liquidation and turmoil over the weekend looks like it's largely going to reverse as we move through October. So that gets us to this point, which is that when VIX spikes happen, they usually happen at the lows. Now take a look here at the upper half of this chart is the S&P over the past year, and the bottom half is the VIX one-day percent changes. And as we highlight here, when you see these spikes in the VIX, one-day spikes, they usually happen at the low. So I think that's the case again. And in fact, the numbers prove this out, that if you look at the instances, the 38 instances when the VIX has surged more than 30% in one day, and then the median forward returns, you can see that 1 month later, the median gains roughly 3%. That implies a 200-point gain for the S&P by mid-November. Okay, back to all-time high. So we would be buying the dip. And in general, we think October and the rest of the year has seasonal tailwinds. Basically, between October and year-end, we should expect the S&P to gain around 4%. That implies 7,000. But as we've talked about before, because the Fed's been on pause all year and then they're cutting in September, that's just like 1998 and 2024. And the S&P did even better into year-end, up 14%. So I think 7,000 is just the base case. And as for Granny stock, individual stock performance, the top 5 performers over the past week were AMD, Lam Research, Strategy.com, KLA-Tencor, and Robinhood Markets. A lot of this is just AI again. And what helped AMD was the OpenAI strategic partnership where OpenAI was going to take up to a 10% stake. That caused AMD to surge 20% and reach an all-time high. We're happy about that. Now, for those who think we're in an AI bubble, just keep in mind a chart I've produced in the past. The most important company to watch is NVIDIA, and it's trading at 27 times forward earnings. Okay, it's got a lower multiple than Costco, which is at 48 times, and at Walmart, which is 34 times. Okay, and equally important that if you go back to 1998, September 98, which is when the Fed was on and then cut in September, Cisco was the same stock then that NVIDIA is today, and it was trading at 56 forward earnings. Look at its PE. In a year and a half, it went to 210 times earnings, a 4x increase in its PE multiple. Okay, that's what I would say is valuations where you can be concerned about valuations. Now, the bottom 5 stocks over the past week were American Express, Bank of New York, Netflix, Meta, and Live Nation. And as far as themes go, the best performing theme was global labor suppliers, led by AMD, followed by Style Tilt. That's it for now.
So as you can see, he's giving you always, and then this is what I love about Tom Lee, okay? You can maybe don't like him, you maybe don't like his style, you maybe don't like that he's not that emotional, and he's not maybe so euphoric like I am, right? But he brings, the numbers, okay? And this is maybe also my German side that I love that. Just facts, 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 okay? And he has obviously a huge research team at Fundstrat that look into millions of data points with obviously help of AI as well. But he said one of the most important is when VIX spikes, specifically in October, and in a fashion that we just have seen, then this might signal already a bottom somewhere in these days, okay? Obviously, as you know, the market currently is very, very emotional about every single tweet and the back and forth between Trump and China, but also those are crazy buying opportunities. This fits perfectly into the current market seasonality, okay? As you know, I show this chart always, and I was always right about this. Even when I got messages and I got, comments, where's the volatility? Nothing, it's good, just going up September, October, yeah. And then, it happens what it had to happen in October. And, you have to understand that there's a lot of algorithm trading on the markets as well that then triggers, and then you have the CTAs, which are actually computer programs that are very bullish and they are holding a lot of stocks right now. But if those stops are getting triggered, this can continue continue, and then, the sell-off happens. And something like this happened then on Friday. We had yesterday also a sell-off at the end of the day, right? So you can, and in the beginning of the day, we just had like a temporary pump during the day, right? So that's number one. Okay, so the VIX is very important because it signals you a temporary bottom. Also, he gives us two more things. First of all, he says that Fed cutting rates is bullish. Full stop. Never fight the Fed. One of the biggest sayings on Wall Street. If you think that you should be, let's say, on the right side of the stock market, you always need to check what the Fed is doing. Very, very simple. If the Fed is cutting, this is bullish for stocks. If the Fed is rising rates, then this is bearish for stocks, and you can sell your stocks. This happened, for example, in 2021. They started to, increase the rates, and what we saw is a small bear market, right? So very simple logic. There's other things on the stock market that you can say, like sell in May and go away, seasonality wise. Then you can say Santa Claus rally. You can say, if a stock is under the 200 moving average, then you can also be quite bearish on the stock. There's a couple of things on this that works on Wall Street. Also very, very interesting, this turnaround Tuesday. So if the market is bad on Monday and starts bad on Tuesday, usually it recovers what we saw yesterday as well, a little bit at least. Okay, so now the last thing that he's showing us is the talk, and he put the talks to the bed. Okay, guys, even we know that Tom Lee sleep in his office, we know that he actually put this to the bed. He says like, bubble. Which bubble? Look at the prices that we had for Cisco. Cisco was one of the biggest providers in the .com bubble, and it has multiple of what Nvidia had as a PE ratio. And then you can see that even when Nvidia will go much, much higher in price, then we can start to worry about valuation. This is very, very important. You have our captain not steering only the stock market for us and the crypto market, but is also the chairman of, in my personal opinion, one of the most important finance companies in the whole world that is upcoming, that is just getting started. We are very early in Bitmine, so make sure to let me know in the comments what you think, and remember, the grass is greener on the other side. And don't forget to check out xnDayTrading.com if you want us to trade for you. Schedule a call with me personally, and we see if we can help you as well.